All right, everybody, it's time for that 300-hour review on the LS MT573. So stay with us. All right, it's time to do 300-hour review. I have had this tractor for a little over a year. We actually put 300 hours on it right around October, and then circumstances caused me not to finish baling hay and a few other things. So we would have probably closer to 350 hours on it today if we could have kept going. But we don't have those hours on it. We have 300. Matter of fact, right now, as we speak, I have 305 hours on it. So there are some good things to talk about, and there are a couple of bad things to talk about. And I'm going to tell you that there's nothing major that we need to talk about on this video. There's nothing in this video that's going to be earth-shattering problems other than the shattering back window that we had several months ago. And we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about the things that I've had go wrong with it, and we're going to talk about the overall experience with the tractor for the year and a half that I've owned it. But one of the things that I am going to complain about, again, we've talked about this in the 100-hour review, and I think it's something that LS needs to do some type of service bulletin for and fix. I think they need to be recalled on the 573s, but apparently it's only the 573s that do it, and that's the gurgle that's in the steering. Someone might say, well, listen, it's a hydraulic noise, which it is, and it's just that's all it is. So it's not anything to worry about. And I'm actually pretty sure it's probably not anything to worry about. The problem is it's annoying. So when it comes to everything else, the shifting on this tractor is very nice, very clean. I haven't had any issues with that. You do have your D-clutch button here on the front, and all of that has worked just very well. The loader has done its thing like it's supposed to. I've mentioned this before. The loader stick is a little far away, but it still has done a good job. My third function has been awesome, and they do have a true third function on them. They have the two buttons on the front. My third function has worked very well. No problems with my SCVs. That's all been good. I have no issues with everything over here. I mean, the tractor is very well laid out, in my opinion. Everything is easy to get to. So the air conditioning system has worked great. I have had no issues with the air conditioning system. During the hottest part of the summer here in Texas, it's getting up to 100 degrees. The AC kept up, no problems whatsoever. And that was very nice. The only time I ever had any issues with the air conditioning system at all is when I felt that, okay, it's starting to not cool so much, kept an eye on my temperature gauges and so forth. During hay season, the area around the radiator on the hood would begin to stop up a little bit with grass, debris, and other things, and we'd have to blow that out and keep that clean. Now, I watch my temperature gauge very closely whenever I'm cutting hay or shredding or anything like that. I watch it very closely all the time, and so we never had any issues when it come down to the air conditioning system. I don't let this thing, if I see the temperature gauge moving, where it's moving upwards a little bit off of the normal range, I will stop, get out, and check all my screens to make sure everything is clean. The last thing you want to do is overheat one of these tractors. You just do not want to do that, okay? And that applies to every tractor. And after running this thing for 300 hours, cutting hay, doing our other work that we have done, where we went in and we chisel plowed. We also did we also used the ripper in the front of a property and cleaned up some of the front of the property with a ripper plow, and then we subsoiled with that same ripper. Long story short is we've not had any issues, and it's very comfortable to be in. Now, as far as regens go, I've had about I'm going to say that I've had about 5 regens, maybe 4. I may be a little over there, because about every 50 to 60 hours we're regenning, and that's about where I'm running. Now, keep in mind, if you're having regens more than that, probably you're not running at high enough RPM. I never run this thing under 1500 RPM, and normally it's more like 18 to 2200 RPM. Now your 2200 RPM is about where your 540 PTO has to run anyway. So when I'm baling, cutting, and so forth, I'm definitely running at those RPMs. Now, as far as the loader goes, I haven't had any issues with the loader. The loader has done a good job. I've not had anything that has stood out as a problem on the loader. There is a little flex in the loader when you're using it on certain things, but I've used this loader for a lot of stuff. With the grapple, the hay fork that's on it now, or the hay spear that's on it now, and the bucket, I've not had any issues. There's nothing that's bent. If you use the loader correctly and like it's designed for, the loader is a strong loader. I don't like the flex that's in it. There is a little bit of a flex in it, but the thing about it is my old Case tractor, which is like a construction tractor, it has a little flex in the loader too. So I'm not going to sit there and tell you that a loader should not have a zero flex in it. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of flex in a lot of these loaders. I just felt like the LS loader had a little more flex than I like. So as far as the engine and transmission go, we've got 300 hours on this thing, and everything has been going very well so far. And I'm not saying that we can't have problems at some point, but everything is going very well. It is time to do the 300-hour service on this tractor, and we're going to be showing you that here before too long. It's not super complicated, but there are a few things that we need to take care of on it, and we'll get on that very soon. Now, motor has run awesome. I haven't had any issues with the motor. It is strong. It gets the job done like it's supposed to. Transmission shifts awesome. Love the power shuttle shift on this tractor. Everything has been great. I have not had any issues. Now, I realize 300 hours is not like 3,000 hours. This is a 2023 tractor. This is not a 30 or 40-year-old tractor that has had time to put that many hours on. But as far as the LS goes, the LS tractor has done a tremendous job this year, and we've not had any issues with the 300 hours. Now, I did have to take it in for one thing on the service. We took it, well, one thing that actually was under warranty for the service so far, and that is for a speed sensor. What happened is the speed sensor was not showing me the correct miles per hour that this has on the dash. When I was on the highway running up like 20 miles an hour, it was showing 6 miles per hour. Now, why is that important? Some people might ask. If you're spraying or laying seed or something like that with a spreader, you need to know how fast you're going to know how much chemical or seed you're putting down. On a lot of the older tractors, they had a little chart on the side that said, what gear you were in and so forth. And then that chart would tell you what RPM to run at, and it'd tell you about how many miles per hour you were going. And you would use that chart in order to put chemical or seed down. That way you put the right application or the right amount down. That speed sensor was probably ordered back in the first part of December. It came in toward the latter part of December, and they came out and put that sensor on here about a week or so ago. They came out to my place to put it on. And the thing about the reason this is important is because it came in within about 2 weeks of the actually being ordered. It's just that getting the sensor installed and so forth took a couple extra weeks, and I was okay with that, and I told them that. So this was not like some kind of, oh, they took forever to get there. That's not what happened. I told them, take your time, get out here when you can. We'll get it put in and so forth. Now they put the sensor in, they recalibrated it. Everything is working like it's supposed to now. Now, as far as my R14 tires, we're going to go ahead and cover that real quick. I like my R14 tires. I actually do. I'm sure there's a little bit of difference between the ag tire and the R14 tire as far as having more traction with the R1 tires versus the R14. But these R14 tires have actually done a really good job, and I really do like them. So would I buy R14 on my next tractor? Absolutely. All right, we've had this discussion on a previous video. One of the things I do want to bring up, because it is a review for this tractor, I want to bring it up one more time. and I'm not going to go into super detail this time, but are these little plastic grommets. These little plastic grommets that hold these windows on here are cracking, and they're necessary to hold the window in place. Now those are supposed to be covered under warranty. I'm hoping to get some new ones and put them on here. But the problem I have with that is that probably we're going to have more of these breaking. Texas 100-degree sun, I mean, it tears plastic up a lot of times. But that's another issue that I have and I don't like. I really wish they'd used a different material for that. That brings us to the back of the tractor. And as far as everything back here goes, this has all been good. I mean, there's some things that I don't like. I do not like these screw type stabilizers. I just do not like them. The screw type stabilizers are just hard to work with. They're hard to adjust when you really need to do some adjustment. I mean, they're not overbearing or anything like that, but I prefer a different stabilizer. I don't like these. The 3-point has been a very strong 3-point. I've not had any issues with the 3-point hitch. I haven't had any problems with lifting anything. It lifts that. Many of you have watched those videos where we were running the ripper and I'd get hung up on a root and I would lift right out of it. And that ripper is actually a 5-shank ripper, but we've knocked it down to 2 shanks into 3 shanks and played with it in different positions. And I have not had any issues with that ripper and this tractor as far as pulling it back out of the ground. Some of the things that I find that are necessary that I've gotten spoiled to now is this lever back here that controls my 3-point hitch when I'm hooking up an implement. I'm going to tell you right now, that has been one of the greatest things that they've come up with. In the past, when we were hooking up implements, you back up to them. It's hard to do by yourself. It's easier to do with 2 people, but if you're out there by yourself, you're fighting to get these implements on sometimes. Extendable link arms, those are big things. And all of this has worked like it's supposed to. It works very well. And I'm very happy with that. As far as my SCVs, they work good. I not actually used more than 2 at a time right now. I usually use the top and bottom ones here, which is, I believe, my black lever and my green lever. I just have these in this one. The other thing I have is these little cheap covers have broken, taking them in and out, and they're no longer in use. So I'm gonna have to get some other type of covers for this. The lighting on this tractor is terrible. I'm just gonna say it. The lighting is horrible. I've had a couple times where we was getting late and I was still baling hay and I wanted to go ahead and run a little bit longer into the dark, and I couldn't because I couldn't see in front of me. Behind me I could see fine. I could see the baler and all that. The lighting back there was fine, but this front lighting was horrible. I couldn't see but a few feet in front of me, and I decided to shut it down because I couldn't see well enough to get the job done. Now, like I said, the lighting in the back was fine because I didn't have a whole lot to deal with there. I was just trying to see the baler. I wasn't trying to look out further. I will tell you though that if I have to use the lighting on the back of this tractor for any more than that, it's not bright enough. It's just not. The LED lighting that they're putting on some of the newer tractors now is so much better, and we'll probably be changing these out eventually. All right, cosmetics. We brought this up, I think back, whenever we did the 100-hour review. And you know, it's just cosmetics. It's something that's not important, but yet it is, because it speaks to quality sometimes. And that is, on the side of this tractor, it says power. I think it's a power shuttle now, but the T fell off, and that is aggravating. So now it says power shuttle instead of power shuttle. The muffler right here, this is a shock basically to the exhaust system, and these rubber pieces are just, again, junk. If you look really close, you can see how this one here is just busted and broke, and there's been a bigger bolt put through here. It's just not acceptable here.
There needs to be something much better than that. The batteries that they use in this new equipment, at least on the LS, I'll say that, is pure junk. 1 year, the battery's dead, no good no more. Literally, it's no good. So I have to replace it. Now I did go back and get a new battery for it. This is an interstate battery, but it doesn't fit perfect. For right now, temporarily, we've put this piece of wood in here to lock this into place. And I've had to replace these. These are things in the first year of ownership that I come across that I don't like. And batteries are not part of your warranty. You have to go through the warranty service for the battery. But the battery they used in this thing was, I think, a Rocket or something like that. Those batteries, I don't even know where you would warranty something like that, but it's not part of the warranty on the tractor itself. Even though it does say bumper to bumper, it's not part of the warranty. So my biggest gripe, I'm gonna go ahead and say, is how long it's taking to get a back window. Now, this is a piece of plexiglass over the window right now, over this area back here, and a lot of you know that. Well, the glass was ordered back in the first part of September, so it's been ordered in September, October, November, December. And it was all of January, and I just got a call the other day saying the back glass will be here very soon, within a week. And so that's at least encouraging to know that the back glass is en route. But it's still been too much time on that window. And that's some of the things that turns people off from the LS brand, is the amount of time it takes to get parts or whatever it is. Now, it didn't take that long to get a speed sensor. I was able to get that speed sensor and put it in. But what if, and I'm sure there are some of you out there that have had this problem, and I know I'm going to hear it, but what if the tractor was completely dead? Only tractor I have to feed with, the only tractor I have to do the chores that need to get done, and it had been down since October, or let's say it's been down since September. It's been down that long. That's basically truly unacceptable. Now, if you have a good dealer and they can lend you a tractor, that might be another thing. At least you have something to use until the parts get there. But at the same time, it's unacceptable, and that's just, there's no other way of putting it. So things like the back window on these tractors, things like parts and so forth, to me becomes the demise of a company. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that, but LS, if you're listening to us, don't be your own worst enemy about getting the parts out to the people that need them. And that's really all I have to say to that. Look, from the very beginning, we decided to do a review on the LS tractor because there's just not a lot of information on the LS tractor, and I wanted to make sure that I gave you an unbiased review, and that's what I'm trying to do. Overall, as far as the LS tractor goes and how I feel about the quality of it, I think the quality is all there. I think they're going to need a little bit of help on their parts maybe. Hopefully they'll get that under control. But as far as my experience with my LS tractor so far, it's been great. I've had a good experience with it. It seems to be a reliable machine. It seems to be a quality made machine, and it seems to be it's a powerful, strong machine. It's a 73 horsepower tractor, and it's done everything I've asked it to do. I mean, you can go overboard, and I'm not going to do that, but at the same time, the tractor's been great. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe. Until next time, though, thank you.